Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Curry, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. This one is going to be a very quick one. I've already recorded an episode before this, and it went quite long in depth. And then I thought, no, I need to just make it short and sweet. And it's talking about validation. And it's yesterday I was on a coaching call, with my coach, and my coach is more for business and strategy and so on, and we were just talking about my process, what's going on, and trying to catch up on things. And he said he's got a client who's doing something similar within the same space, who is now speaks to a married man who the wife has now said she wants a divorce or she's cheated on him, and it really just teaches them how to capture the power within that relationship. And I thought that was a really powerful message that the other guy is doing, and I looked into his content, and pretty good content for somebody who's in that scenario. So we essentially were sort of two sharks within the same pond. And again, like I said, I don't believe in competition. I think there's not enough of us coaching men. I would like that there be a whole lot more, especially with information that is actually useful, that is better than all this marriage counseling and intimacy coach, all this stuff that is completely rubbish in terms of fixing a sexless relationship. I mean, the amount of times I hear people saying that doesn't work, and they're now at the brink of divorce after doing all of that. I wish if I could charge people money, I would definitely be very, very rich. So that being the point. So I was listening to the content of this guy. His name is Mark Santiago, and I thought it was really impressive content. He did skim over a thing that I thought I wish he'd gone in deeper on, because I can go in deep for this. And I was really annoyed because I've touched it on different episodes and spoke about it a little bit, and it's validation and how validation works with value within every interaction that you have. So when I say validation, is that it's the person who's validating that conversation is the one who's got the value. So I'll say that again, the person who's validating the conversation is the one who's got the value. So for example, if you're having an interaction, the person who's seeking validation is the one who's of low value. So if you find yourself in a sexless relationship, you're probably doing approval-seeking behavior. That's what we call it, where you're doing things to be, like, for example, doing the cleaning and doing the dishes, doing all the cooking and doing all the housework and everything like that. It could be approval-seeking behavior. Now, I do it because I want to have a clean house, because I want it to be clean. I'm not doing it in order to impress her, because if I do it to impress her, that's validating seeking behavior, and therefore she sees you low. So for example, if you clean and say, look, I've cleaned, generally it comes across as this sort of child-parent relationship, and therefore, because she's validating the fact that you're doing it, in her mind she's thinking, well, you should be doing it. Like, do you want a medal for me for cooking and cleaning? Do you want a medal? Do you want a trophy? So if you start seeing it from that perspective, you actually start realizing that that's it, approval-seeking behavior. It does more harm to your relationship from a sexual standpoint than just doing the stuff and not caring whether you get a praise or not. And that's one of the most important parts about it. And I've talked about leaning in and leaning out within the conversation, as in you can do this physically. So when somebody's speaking to you, if you lean back and relax even more, and you're got a relaxed state, it essentially makes that person feel like they're working quite hard for that conversation. So then, therefore, you have to validate that conversation, and by you validating, it puts you into the higher frame, and therefore this. So now within that, from that context, if you think about it, within your relationship, you can actually means that you can be very valuable within the relationship, without having to be manipulative, without having to shout, without having strong armor, without imposing your will, without even showing these alpha male traits that everybody's teaching, which is absolutely garbage. And you can even do it as a nice guy, because again, your 97% of your communication is your body language, so your voice tone and how relaxed you are, and how much you lean in and how much you lean out. And I'm not saying never lean in. Sometimes I like to lean in as I'm having a conversation like right now, I would then lower my tone and then lean in. It's just to say the next thing I'm going to say is very important. Again, that communicates power. So again, there's certain things that you can do within that interaction to really be the guy or the person that's validating the conversation. And by you validating, it increases your value. And therefore, within every interaction, you become the leader. And this is the nuances of leadership that is missed, not just in a relationship, but just in life in general. Because most people feel like if I'm giving orders, then I'm a leader, which is completely different to getting people to follow you and be totally trustworthy in every decision that you make. And again, a lot of it comes then down to your body language. Like imagine, I always give the example, imagine a general who is in war and you're taking fire from the enemy, and then his body language is telling you that he doesn't want to be there. Instantly it will cause issues within the ranks and people would actually die. So as a leader, you have to be able to actually be in that frame where you are the one that's validating the conversation. And it's not all the time, because there's some times where it switches. For example, my wife is very good at dealing with the children's things in terms of the school and interacting with the school. And I'm the one that's now seeking approval. So, and again, when I say seeking approval, I'm the one that's following, and I'm the one that's really the unknown. I don't know anything about this. So she's the one that's coaching me around through it. And again, I still hold the frame of, okay, this is the decision that we're going to take now. And this is the way we're going to go, especially if it's pertaining to the family and the direction that we're going to go. And I can do that because, again, just one last thing, leadership is built over micro decisions. It's a very important thing. And it's a quote that I wrote some months ago. It just came to my head, and I thought, you have to have those micro decisions happening frequently. And again, the decision, whether the outcome is good or not, the important part is that you made a decision. And whether if it's not good, it's something that you can make another decision in order to put it on the right track. And when you can do that consistently and show progression within the relationship, that then becomes, starts trusting your leadership. He actually starts seeking more approval. And the most important part about it is that most women want to take a back seat and then have you to lead. And it's a very important aspect of the relationship. And I can go a lot deeper into validation. There's other things that we could talk about. Being comfortable with silence, being able to use silence in your favor. What's the other one? Let me just look at some notes here. Sometimes I forget to put up my notes. But anyways, there's quite a few other bits that you can use within the validation and you actually showing value within the relationship and her seeking approval to you. And again, validation can be used for her to show approval seeking behavior from a sexual standpoint. So that's another part that when we do seduction gap, that's one I've talked about before, you're actually trying to get her to be seeking approval through sex. So again, it's a very powerful tool and it's something that we can do. And like I said, if you want to learn more of this stuff, you need to go to Thriving Tribesmen Facebook group and we'll be able to start teaching you some of this stuff. Like I said, if you want a custom seduction strategy session, go to our Facebook group, Thriving Tribesmen, and you'll see the links that will direct you to the session. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be speaking to you soon. Take care.